Hi, everyone. So let's start by sitting together. I invite you while you rest there in the quiet to let your body soften and sink into your seat as much as it's willing, feeling weight, letting gravity win, letting your face droop and your belly soften, indicating to the creature of the body, time to rest on vacation, just here, going nowhere, no jobs. You might take some nice, long, slow, deep breaths, filling the body, noticing the feel of that, letting the air fill and touch any place that's tight. And on the out breath, again, an invitation down, soft, sinking, giving up the ghost, chilling out. Again, as much as the sweet body is willing, having mercy and generosity toward the places in the body that don't want to let down, that don't remember how to soften. Mercy. And in those long, slow, deep breaths, an invitation to let the engine slow. Letting attention sink down out of its interest in thought to just notice anything, anything that is fresh and unique to this moment, like the sounds, each sound calling you here, sound of my voice, the temperature where you are, noticing that. Where your hands rest, where your feet are. Resting down into the ground as a metaphor for resting into the ground of being. A pause, a rest, a gap between where we've been and where we're going, called now, just here. Rest stop, tanking up. Noticing where your body meets your seat and the sturdy earth below that. How well you are held by ground, sturdy, reliable earth. And you might let your body sink down into that support, like you're riding on the back of a great tortoise, giving your weight over, giving your concerns over. Receptive, noticing the space around your body. No harm, no interruptions, nothing to tend to, no occasions to rise to, so that we can all let the softening of yin give us a nice deep rest, as deep as our bodies will allow us, resting down into being, letting our doing machine rest on a hook outside or run in place if it needs to. Noticing the aliveness of our bodies, our life energy, this energy that funds our human expression. It may be peaceful. It may be going bananas. Do what you know how to do to soothe your system as much as you can. These creatures, boy, they bear the brunt of being on earth. Being kind to them, letting them have a rest, letting them curl up in the lap of being. And as you notice this contact of body with ground, I want to invite you to let your body sort of in your imagination sink down a few inches into the topsoil. Maybe grow roots, sit as a mountain. Feel that sturdy support as your body is supported by earth. One of our resources in the moment to feel, to notice, to let the creature of the body notice, held, sturdy, planted. And to really, in a way, pay homage to the earthed part of our human beingness. That this aspect of creature is of earth and finds support in and on earth, funded by earth, nourished by earth, soothed by the vibration of earth. Creature belongs to earth. Home. And notice rising sturdy out of that earth, the lodgepole of your spine, uprightness, the basic dignity of being human. You might imagine it like a tree rising up through your spine, out the top of your head, branching, branches of trees, tips of mountains, calling to the above. Yes, spirit, lit, supported, known, held by light. The lit aspect of us, this beautiful noticing presence that is hosting this whole thing. Supported by earth, lit by the heavens, human being, a wedding, heaven and earth. And right where those two meet in the human body is the human altar where the heart sits. Sweet, tender, lovely, squishy heart. Whatever your experience right now of your own heart is, please know, as a human, you are equipped with an exquisite, tender, sensitive, beautiful instrument of divinity. And today, probably like any other day, but today in the Soothie, this guided meditation, we are turning toward, calling to, holding, acknowledging, singing to, praising the human heart. And so you might bring your attention to your chest area. You can bring your attention to the actual organ in your body, or you can bring it to the whole area. You can bring it to the spiritual seat of the heart on the right side of the chest, of the unlimited divine source that we are. With your felt experience, touching, saying hello to what you find there. And you may lay a hand on your heart to acknowledge the tenderness, the sensitivity, the need that the human heart has for support, for companioning, for a hello, for acknowledgement. Oh heart, oh heart, oh tender, beautiful instrument of loving with an aperture a lot like an eye, falls open in a certain kind of condition, can snap shut at the first sign of threat, human heart. And so here we turn toward the human heart with acknowledgement, with mercy, with attention, with holding. Some time to actually slow down and be with from this sparkling presence that we are, to be with this tender human heart. The eternal divine heart is limitless, destruction proof, sturdy, blazing, eternal, beautiful, lit, steadfast. And this is what shines through when our house of personhood is in ruins. This is what dances there through the tatters. And we all have a wormhole to this right in the center of our chest. And here we invoke it, we call to it, we name it. We even can hurl ourselves into its arms, appeal to it. Let me rest in this light. And then the human heart, the gristly, fleshy heart, the limited nature of creatureliness, mortality, sickness, threat, loss, earth. So much tenderness due the human heart for its assignment here, for its challenge here. Hey, sensitive, beautiful light that knows perfection in imagination, can imagine peace on earth, love everywhere. Come to this limping, limited, mortal place called earth. Light, ground, marrying. Again, so much tenderness due us, so much forgiveness, so much mercy for this human walk that we are invited on when we acknowledge the human heart, when we acknowledge how easy it is for the human heart in a small body or a big body to be affected, to feel hurt, to feel so much hurt. It doesn't know how to stay open. So much devastation or loss or rough handling or witnessing of harshness, overwhelmation. Human heart, hey, human heart, it can use all the tenderness it can get, all the protection it can get, all the safe places to let the armor fall. Because to be here, tender, open, feeling our aliveness, feeling the beauty and the coming and going, the rising and falling, the gaining and losing of earth, and to be radiating this beauty of the divine heart is no small assignment and such a sweet way to be here. We long for it. We long to feel alive in every cell. We long to feel heartful. We love to feel touched in the heart. We love those moments where the heart is touched, where generosity just flows out of us without fear for ourselves or concern. The human heart is so noble, so beautiful. One eye on the unlimited, and one eye on the limping. Ah, oh, mercy. And so here today, in acknowledgement of the Indigenous Day of Mourning, of all of the violence, injustice, harshness that the human shadow can act out upon soft bodies, all of our soft bodies. We stand in acknowledgement, in tenderizing. When our hearts are broken, I don't know how to say this, it's like when we experience something so hurtful, so disappointing, so counter to love, whether we are a baby or we are an adult, and life on earth has one assault on the sweetheart after another in any given human life. There is an ow that rises, and you can see babies who are in good shape. They stay current with these ows by crying their guts out. They stiffen, they're in shock, they get to a safe place where they're held, and they wail, and they wail, and they wail until they're done, until they're re-softened wide open again, wide open again. But in our culture, because a lot of our conditioning is based on soldier training, we have lost the beauty of this. We have characterized softness as not grown up or not manly enough, that everything that is valuable is sturdy and hard and capable, and that the breaking heart, the softening, the sinking, the dissolving back down into the ground of being is foreign to many of us. And so we are walking around with these hearts that really would like to break all the way down, lay themselves on the ground and rest and weep and catch up with all that we've been carrying around the world. All that we've been carrying around the world, carrying so much, hearts so full, hearts so braced, that we can no longer collectively feel each other, feel the earth, feel the creatures. Or if we start to feel them, we feel so overwhelmed. If there's something that our times need, It's for us to have places to allow our hearts to break and to break and to break and to be reopened and re-softened and to feel ourselves, to feel life, to feel the earth, to feel each other. And so here we rest in honor of, in acknowledgement of the brokenheartedness in each human, and each human who's on the call here, and each human around us, and each human around the earth. To be human. This is part of the design. We come here to get our hearts broken. And in my experience, and I only speak from my experience, in my experience, when the heart breaks and breaks and breaks and is emptied and emptied and emptied, it is open enough, humbled enough, exhausted enough for the divine heart to pour. So I want to say, when my daughter was little, I said, she said all these wise things. So I asked her, what would you tell the people of the world if you could give them one piece of advice? What would you tell them? She said, crying is good. Crying is good, to re-soften and to find the places where we can feel safe to soften, which is so important, particularly with men's conditioning, to find places where you're seen, understood, protected, not messed with, connected with, contact with a warm, knowing, loving human on your terms, in your way, in your time, to turn toward that beautiful organ in your chest and say, hey, heart, love is. What I notice is that each of us seems to be equipped with certain things that will hit us in the heart and have our heart fall open effortlessly. Sometimes it's a grandchild, a dog in their innocence and warmth and dearness, a triumph, a sports team. When we glimpse purity in a human being, innocence in a human being, selflessness in a human being, those moments of the heart being touched, such touchstones to where we live, to the heart of us. And the human heart is our touchstone. We come here to know and to express the love that we are. Our lives have meaning to the extent that we turn toward and take up the heart's flag. Otherwise, we are just trudging, lost. I want to acknowledge any exhaustion. Pretend for a moment I'm talking only to you. Any exhaustion you carry, any heartbreak, heartache you carry, ungrieved losses, harshnesses, ways your heart has been treated unjustly or meanly or roughly, and to take a moment And let that matter. Let it matter. Let your heart matter. Let your ache matter. On the spiritual path, there is so, or there can be, certainly in most of the humans that I come in contact with, so much loss. So much loss as we are conditioned and we grow fond of things and we hold on to them and we clutch them, identities and hobbies and people and family and places. And then as we shed, as we deconstruct, as we get open and soft and subtle, things go, things leave. This is the way of earth. Grieving becomes one of our, right alongside of meditation. The poet Mirabai said, midnight tears will bring you to God. I like to say that my spiritual practice was more weeping than sitting. The tool that allows us to soften, allows us to let go of what we're attached to, what we're clinging to, washes us clean, washes us down, down, down to the ground, resting, open, soft. And in the time of my life where an onslaught of deconstruction just battered me to death, shook my house, brought the beams down, loss after loss after loss after loss. I was washed down to a place where I dreamed of just one unconflicted breath. I dreamed of one moment where I would just feel okay. Before that, I felt quite entitled to a certain kind of a life and certain kind of things. And I was really mad when life disallowed those things and forced me into the moment in poverty, naked, simple, at the mercy. I was done insisting. I was done grabbing. I was done uh, being in the dictator position in relation to life and the holy. I had my hands out. I was a beggar. I was on the ground. I was equivalent to dust, washed down to the ground of being, a no one, a nobody, going nowhere, just here. And when that moment came of an unconflicted breath, of a moment of okayness, when light dawned in my burned out house, gratitude rose naturally as love rises naturally out of the defeated and broken heart. It is an inherent quality of our humanness, this fresh, kneel down gratitude. Gratitude is not something we paste on top of our misery, forcing ourselves to paste a smile on our face. Yuck. Gratitude can be a natural arising as we take time to notice and affair to breathe, ground under our bodies. But it's not to be used to band-aid up our broken heart. The broken heart and the breaking heart is the path to gratitude, not anti-gratitude. And we can use gratitude as a practice, not to deny what we're experiencing, not to deny our pain or misery, but for a moment to step out of the wallpaper of misery, to look around and notice what's beautiful, what's given, gift of life, gift of breath, the gift of a chickadee landing on the deck, the gift of voices outside one's house as people walk down the sidewalk, gift of blue sky. We become so much more able when our heart is broken on the ground. We become so much more able to feel the life energy in our bodies, to feel the breeze on our face. And out of this deep contact with things as they are, in the cessation of the incessant hungry ghost grabber, it's just a natural being touched. So now in this time, and I don't know if there's ever been a time on earth when there hasn't been loss after loss after loss for human beings. I think it's part of the design. We come here as eternal beings, flopping around in mortality and comings and goings and things that pass, things that rise, things that are dear, and things that go. We are asked to become full, present greeters of the things that come. Yes, okay, here's what's here now. And full and present goodbye wavers as things go until the coming and the going and the coming and the going is like breathing. And we sit as this beautiful presence that hosts the in-breath and the out-breath, the coming and the going. No longer pulled like a yo-yo. But if we are pulled like a yo-yo, there's no end run around it. We let ourselves experience elation. We let ourselves experience devastation until the heart is so well exercised and so open. It kisses things as they come and it kisses things as they go. Here's this lovely moment. I just have to say, in the company of you people, as we sit in this collective presence field, letting ourselves be simple as our systems will allow, letting ourselves rest, letting ourselves soften. Maybe letting our tears come for whatever we have been storing up as we witness this world. If I feel myself, my own heart, the breath in my body, the mortality of my body, the things that are dear, I can feel you. I can see your breath. I can recognize, sibling, that you have a body. I can recognize and empathize and feel the losses that you face because I have faced loss. I can celebrate your triumphs, your good fortune, because I have experienced that. When your animal, your pet leaves the world, I can feel you. I can know you. I just adopted with my sweetie an 8.5-year-old dog. When we met him in the highway and adopted him. And I said, I think we're his end of life program. And such dearness to this mortality, to the people that we love, to our own bodies, our sick bodies, our tired bodies, to acknowledge this mortality, our affectability. Our hearts are affectable. There's such beauty in it. Our culture says weakness. Don't admit that you're affectable, then you'll be vulnerable and gettable. We are vulnerable and gettable. Inherently, as human beings, we are at the mercy of life. This is not something to deny. We are not robots. We are not gods in that way. We have come to turn tenderly, compassionately toward our humanness with mercy. Let our hearts soften. Let ourselves feel each other, feel life. And then let this tremendous light look out so compassionately, acknowledging what it's like to be on earth. And there's something so beautiful and unifying when the heart breaks, when the heart softens, when we can feel ourselves and our lives, we can feel the preciousness of the things around us. And we start to look around at the other people who are populating the earth with us. We start to get curious about what their world is like, about what their hearts are carrying, what challenges they have. And we can be touched by each other. This is what we're trying to get at in this whole thing about political correctness. We're just trying to get at, can we recover this capacity to feel each other? For me, growing up with women's conditioning, can I understand enough about what men's experience is that I can feel them behind their bluster? I can feel them, humanness, their softness, their heart, their broken heart. Can I make an Indigenous friend and find out, what's your life like? How do you view this American holiday? What's the history of it for you and for your people? What actually happened? Oh my gosh, I'm learning it. I'm feeling you. I'm understanding your cries. I'm understanding you. I'm feeling you because we're human. The tenderized heart, the heart that has been broken open, it is our salvation. It is the touchstone for our times. We need this compass to know how to be human, to know how to move with love and virtue, and to lend the gift that we are to this sad and sweet and limping and mortal and beautiful place. I want to invite us, as we go about our day, our weekend, these days leading up to the end of the year, and if you celebrate holidays, I want to invite, if you would like to take it on, just every once in a while to lay your hand on your heart and acknowledge your heart and look around your world and acknowledge that every being around you, no matter how kerfuffly they look, no matter how stern they look, how dominating they look, how grumpy they look, how mean they are, there's a heart in there. When my daughter said, "Mama, why?" She came home from school. A girl had been mean to her. She didn't understand it. The girl had been really just gone out of her way to be very mean to Sophia. She said for an hour, "Why, Mama? Why, Mama? Why, Mama?" And she didn't want me to tell her why mentally. She wanted to let this perennial cry out from her heart as her sweet heart came to earth and felt its first big poke from a classmate. Why, Mama? She cried, cried, cried into the question, cried into the question. And then she wanted information at the end of the weeping. First, the why was just, ah, I am a divine and beautiful light landing on earth, and this hurts. Ow. And then in the quiet followed the weeping. She wanted to understand. And I said, your friend has always in her heart. She has always in her heart. That's why she does that. She has always in her heart. And then Valentine's Day came, and Sophia was making these little heart people as Valentines for her classmates. And the one that came out the best, I'm not going to use the actual name, but she said, this one is for Bobby, a boy in her class. This one is for Bobby. It's the best one because he has the most owies in his heart. He's mean to other people. I'm going to give him the best Valentine. She came home at the end of the day and she said, Mama, it worked. I watched him open it and he smiled. There is what we think of as a childlike nature, an innocent nature to the heart. It is derided so early, it goes into hiding. But the heart is not small. The heart is not young. The heart is not stupid. The heart is not humiliating. The heart is the beauty of being human. And a mature heart is an unstoppable heart. A mature heart cannot be toppled over. A mature heart can stand steadfast for the truth of our unity, of our family of human and family of creature, can stand steadfastly in protection of what's present, precious, can become very wily, gain skills, gain capacities to keep bringing its vision, its heart, its gift, its beauty, its love, its unifying force to bear on this sad and limping place. And you have one. You are equipped with one. And whether you lend it to a chickadee, to your dog, to your neighbor, the heart needs exercise. And you are so worthy of protected and safe and loving spaces within which to soften, open, feel, and know your heart for yourself. It's the heart of being here on the planet in a good way, in an enjoyable, alive way. It's where it counts. It's where things matter. The heart of us is the life of us, the life of our spirit. I don't know if this is a guided meditation or a pep talk. A friend who said, love is a virus, spread it.